to the 2022 Golf Summer Series, race number 13. Tonight, we're here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia for the running of the Carvel Ice Cream Cake 404. On this beautiful night here in Metro Atlanta, 38 of the best drivers have come to the Summer Series' hometown for one of our longest races of the entire season. But before we get started, let's take a look at our starting lineup. So on the pole is the 7 in this powwow, and Exzel the 12 Alex Cass Stevens. Row 2, Dan Matteillo fresh off his Myrtle Beach win, and Exzel the 18 of Braden Carruthers. Row 3, Nathan Stapleton and Xavier. Row 4, Georgia native Random J and Jason Albert in the 80. Row 5, Andrew Williams and Roberto Crown. Row 6, Riot Roberts and Ada Robertson. Row 7, we got the 2 McRoll brothers of Dan in the 99 and the 10 of Ross. Row 8, Kellen Baker and another Georgia local, Jordan Stout in the 11. Row 9, Noah Clifton and Trey Smith. Row 10, Keyshawn Richardson and Owen Miles. Row 11, Kyle Salmon and Ryan Wilson. Row 12, Jordan Forbes and Nathan Baird. Row 13, defending series champion Hodom and current points leader Richard Herman. Row 14, Bradley Reim and Joe T. Row 15, Gaming Creek and Brendan Beal in the 16. Row 16, Caleb Rose and Johnny Hernandez. Row 17, RC Gamer and David Johnson. Row 18, Matthew Burnett and the winner of this race last year, Nick Sand, the 20. And finally, row number 19, Lipsy in the 9 car and the 90 of Matthew Hill. And now it is time for the starting command here in Atlanta.
Drivers, start your engines!
Let's take a look at the track info here for tonight's race. So we're going to go 84 laps on this mile-and-a-half long quad oval with 24 degrees of banking in the corners. And as for the weather here tonight here in Hampton, 75 degrees Fahrenheit with 5 miles per hour towards the southwest. And you can see our past 2 Atlanta winners, Jimmy in 2020 and Nixie in 2021. And of course, like Chicagoland, this is a day-to-night race, so track conditions will vary as the race will go on. And with that being said, the pace car is down pit road with the sellout crowd all on their feet here in Atlanta, ready to see the Golf Summer Series for one last time. Here we go. This powwow and Cass Stevens lead the field to green here in Atlanta. And already that was a great start for powwow on the inside. That was a clear Cass Stevens going into turns 1 and 2. Already Andrew Williams in the 23 makes a 3 wide, forcing Random to the middle, alongside Ryan Robertson in the 42 as he forces Ada Robertson to the middle. Down the back shoulder, powwow now goes to the outside, the block Cass Stevens, moving to open for Matteillo and Nathan Stapleton on the inside, going into turn number 3, before powwow comes down the block on the inside. Coming off turns 3 and 4 and back to the start-finish line, with this powwow leading here in Atlanta. In the 1, here comes Williams once again, making it 3 wide, this time for second, with Stapleton and Mona Matteillo forced up to the outside. Andrew Williams came in this race only 4 points back from the points leader Richard Herman, and so far, if this race were to end right now, he would be the new points leader. And so far in this race, Williams has definitely been eager to capitalize on that opportunity. But here comes Riot Roberts also into turn number 3, making it 3 wide, forcing Williams to the middle and Stapleton to the outside. Off turns 3 and 4, Roberts will clear Williams for second. This powwow still leading as you come to lap number 3 this time by. Into turn number 1, the top 3 all tucked down to the inside, including Dan McRow in the 99 in that Georgia paint scheme. While behind them, everyone in this main pack is still 3 wide. With the 76 of Clifton on the inside before moves to the middle, as well as Keyshawn Richardson, Brad, Reim, and the 20 in the Gaming Creek. Meanwhile, into turn number 3, Williams continues to his ground on the outside. As here come the Pontiacs, making it 4 wide going into turn number 4. As Random and Cass Stevens nearly touched off the corner there. And the same could also be said for Joe T in the 8 car, as that was very scary for those cars behind them. Meanwhile, back to the front, we got a battle for the lead between Roberts and this Powell as they're side by side through turns 1 and 2. With the 42 having the advantage over his fellow Chevy rookie down the back area this time by. Once again behind the leaders were 3 wide with Keyshawn Richardson on the inside as he puts Clifton in the middle before Clifton comes to block into turn number 3, causing the 24 to be side by side with McRolla through turns 3 and 4. And you can see there how much ground both Stapleton and Williams have lost on an outside lane as it comes to lap number 5 this time by. Almost 3 wide for second once again into turn number 1 as here comes Keyshawn Richardson side by side with Clifton for seconds. Whereas Powell is going to tuck in the third as here comes his teammate Gaming Freak to challenge for the position off for turn number 2 this time by. Continuing down the back straight into turn number 3, Roberts continues to lead. It comes down to the inside to block the 24 as Keyshawn is still side by side with the 76. Keyshawn's going to tuck into second for now as here comes Gaming Freak with a great run on the inside as he'll be side by side with Clifton coming to lap number 6 this time by. So Random towards the middle of the pack, they're 3 wide into 53 as there's his teammate Keyshawn looking for the lead on Roberts. 24 and 42 remain side by side through turns 1 and 2 until a little bit further back. Here's Powell once again 3 wide with Cass Stevens on the inside with help from Brandon Carruthers in the 18. But down the back shoulder and into turn number 3 comes Gaming Freak on the inside again. He's going to force Keyshawn to the middle, making it 3 wide for the lead. Through turns 3 and 4, Gaming Freak with the advantage over Keyshawn as Cass Stevens is going to be 3 wide almost once again as it comes to complete lap number 6 this time by. Now comes Brandon Carruthers into turn number 1, making it 3 wide once again for a second as he'll force the 12 car in the middle. Brad Reim in the 6 also stuck right behind the 24 as well as Ryan Robertson the 42 on the outside as he of course was the leader just a couple laps ago. But it's already in danger of falling outside the top 10. Into turn number 3 this time by Brado's going to clear Cass Stevens for second as he looks to catch back up with the 28. There you see Jordan Ford is right behind him in the 61. Of course, led the most laps in this race last year. Could he possibly get redemption this year as he comes to lap number 8 this time by? And then one, Curtis tried to block Forbes in the middle of that time by, but here comes Forbes peeking his nose to the inside, making it 3 wide once again for the lead. Gaming Free is going to get shuffled to the outside as a result, leaving Forbes and Brado side by side for the lead down the back straightaway. Albert Motorsports has been on a hot streak these past couple Summer Series races, winning 2 out of the last 3 races, as well as winning this race last year with Nixant. And with Forrest coming to complete lap number 8 this time by, there's a good chance that streak could continue. But into turn number 1 once again, we're 3 wide for the lead, with Powell back on the inside in the 7. Through turns 1 and 2, you can see a lot of drivers on the inside losing a lot of ground. You saw Matthew Hill in the 90, Jonah Forrest in the 61. As there comes Matteillo off turn number 2, a fall from Gaming Freak on the inside. As round goes just Albert Wright Roberts off turn number 2. Random J in the 53 also involved, alongside Ross McRow in the 10. As we're under caution for the first time here tonight in Atlanta. There you see the heavy damage of both Albert and Roberts' car. A Random J in the 53 doesn't have too much damage, it appears like. However, the same cannot be said for Ross McRow in the 10. Those heavy side damage to both the left and right side. As meanwhile, at that time by Dave Matteillo led in the 17, with Gaming Freak in second, and the 7 Dis Powell in third. And as the field comes down the back straightaway, we're going to see if we're going to come down pit road this time by. As in the 3, here comes Beal, already down to Aber in the 16. I'm going to see if everyone else will follow him through these corners here. And again, the 4, Matteillo, and everybody actually down pit road for the first out of probably many pit stops here in this long race. And here they all come down pit lane this time by, all in a single file formation, as Brendan Beal and McRoll, the first 2 drivers in. Brady Carruthers will also find his way. Keyshawn Richardson, Glipsy, Little also getting ready to go into his pit stall. As he Matteillo in his pit stall there alongside Kyle Salmon. This Powell trying to find his way down pit road alongside Ryan Wilson. It looks like the common call here in this pit road cycle is a full meal service of 4 tires and gas and a full tank of fuel, as well as some various adjustments these drivers have to make to their cars as the nice race will continue on. And as for the race off pit road, it's not even close, as Gaming Creek wins the race off pit road as he only took 2 tires that time by, where everyone else took 4. Ordan Matteillo, Brendan Beal, Jordan Forbes, David Johnson round off the rest of your top 5. But anyways, let's take a look at the instant replay to see what caused the first caution here tonight in Atlanta. So all this started going into turns 1 and 2, while Jason Albert as he side by side with Random J in the 53. So Albert in the 80 car has a run on the inside, with Random in the middle, getting into Roberts off 2, with the 42 coming down on the 80, with Random spinning in front of Ross McRolla. With McRolla getting additional contact from Roberts there very late. And definitely tough breaks for all these drivers, especially for Random, as he was just getting back inside the top 15 in points as we're on board the 53 here. And yeah, definitely made contact with Roberts. I don't know if Roberts maybe had a bad block there as Random barely touched him. But regardless, that still set Random spinning. There's Mick rolling to 10 also making contact with him as well. So Scarborough with the back bumper of Roberts here. If I have to make the call, Roberts maybe had a bad block on Random, which subsequently caused all this to occur to begin with. Anyways, already under caution here in Atlanta, as we'll be right back to you guys after this. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here in Atlanta. We're about to go green after a multi-car spin in the back straightaway, involving Random J, Jason Albert, Ryan Roberts, and the 10 of Ross McMarola. Fortunately for all 4 of those drivers, they will continue the rest of the race, albeit towards the back of the field. Currently in top 5 is the 28 of Gaming Creek, followed by the 17 of Dan Matteillo, fresh off his Myrtle Beach win, as well as Brendan Beal in the 16, Jordan Forrest in the 61, and the 2 of David Johnson. And here we go, pace car down pit road, as the field comes towards the start-finish line. And back to the green flag here in Atlanta. And already that was a great restart for Matteillo on the outside, as Beal's going to be side by side with Gaming Creek into turn number 1 as the 28 moves to the outside. And already once again the field in the middle is street wide, with Photo forcing Ryan Wilson to the middle as your defending series champion is going to gain some ground here. Down the back straight in turn number 3, Beal now up to second, the 16, before he moves down to the inside to block the 38 as once again 3 wide with Gaming Creek stuck on the outside. We've got a car down pit road as your points leader of Richard Herman. And we're just now getting reports that there was a vibration at 95, possibly from a loose lug nut. And if we imagine Herman right now is very, very frustrated as he, of course, came to this race as the points leader, albeit only 4 points above Andrew Williams. And with the 95 about to go a lap down here, it could possibly leave a huge dent for that team long term as you continue through the second half of the season. Meanwhile, through turns 3 and 4, the Railfan teammates of Matteillo and Beal are side by side for the lead. The 16 had the advantage off for turn number 4 this time by. It will come to lead lap number 15. Here comes Hold'em now into turn number 1, making a 3 wide of Keisha Urshan down the middle, with over the 31 of Roberto Crown. Into turn number 2, Matteillo's going to fall back on the outside and tucking right between the 24 and 38. So Xavier and Random J made contact off turn number 2. Thankfully, both of them were able to save it going into turn number 3, and that was very close to becoming another caution. Let's take a look at the replay here. So off of turn number 2 here, there were 4 wide of the RC cars, Gaming Creek and Wilson, with the 33 coming down on the 53. And this is probably a moment of deja vu for Random, as during the last caution, something very similar happened with him and Ryan Roberts. Meanwhile, due turns 1 and 2, as he Powwow and Matthew Who moved down to the inside. With the 7 side by side, the 31 of Crown as we're on board the 7 car into turn number 3 this time by. And to get an idea of how fast these cars are going, this is one of the fastest tracks in the entire Summer Series calendar. As you come off of 4, come back to the quadruple, the complete lap number 17, and come to lap number 18 this time by. As here comes Matthew Burnett out of nowhere, making 3 wide for second. Burnett had no help there for a moment until I got help from the 99 McMarola, with Hodo Thingma joining the inside lane, so Matteillo is going to force the 88 to the middle. Joe TDA car also in the mix behind the 17, alongside the 23 of Williams, as in the 3, Burnett's going to clear Hill for seconds. And as all that happens, Powwow once again gets shuffled to the outside, the 7, as off of turn 4, here comes McMarola side by side with the 13, coming to lap number 19. Into turn number 1, the 99th the advantage of Matteillo briefly peeking his nose to the inside of McMarola until he tucks back in on the inside. Off of turn number 2, this time by Torres again peeks his nose. This time he's going to be side by side with 99, forcing him to the outside into turn number 3 before McMarola Coca comes back down the block. Coming to lap number 20, the top 3 Beal, McMarola, and Matteillo move down to the middle to block Joe T before moving down to the inside to block Williams into turn number 1. But now McMarola peeks his nose to the inside of Beal as they're side by side for the lead off of turn number 2. McMarola got a good run down the back shoulder that time by. Will translate into turn number 3 this time by. Fall for Matteillo, it will, as McMarola has the advantage over the 16 into turn number 4 this time by. But as immediately as they say, there comes Matteillo now. Look at the inside of the 99, coming to lap number 21 for the lead. There's Kyle Salmon there, briefly making a 3 wide before tucking it right behind the 23 into turn number 1. Into turn number 2 now, Dan Matteillo is going to clear McMarola for the lead, as here comes Andrew Williams once again to be side by side with McMarola for second. Continuing down the back straightaway, and now into turn number 3, here comes Clifton side by side with Salmon for third, as Andrew Williams will have the advantage over McMarola for the second position. And now off of 4 comes Williams looking to the inside of Matteillo for the lead, coming to lap number 22. That time by through the crossover, Williams had a great run on the inside, but we take advantage of that into turn number 1, and he's still side by side with Matteillo. Continuing down the back straightaway, the two Dodgers remain side by side for the lead, and will remain so into turn number 3. It looks like finally off turn number 4, Williams will clear Matteillo for the lead, as now Clifton's going to challenge Matteillo for the second position, coming to lap number 23. And of course, as I mentioned multiple times, if this race were to end right now, Williams would be the new points leader. And he's been definitely taking advantage of that fact. He's been very competitive in this race so far. Meanwhile, down the back shoulder, once again 3 wide for third, with Miles getting forced to the middle by Crown, until moving up to block the 17 of Matteillo into turn number 3, as he's still side by side to 31. Coming off turn 4 once again, the 23 of Andrew Williams will lead lap number 23, with now Clifton looking to the inside to 23 into turn number 1. Going into the turns, especially going into turn number 1, seems to be the best place to be to get around someone. And it looks like Clifton would use just that as off turn number 2. He'll have the advantage over the 23 for the lead, until Crown's going to force it to the middle down the back straightaway, making it 3 wide once again for the lead. Williams falls back on the outside, with Crown having the advantage over the 76 going into turn number 4 this time by. Crown will clear Clifton that time by, and will come to lead lap number 24 here in Atlanta. Meanwhile, Clifton still staying put in second, trying to buck Nathan Baird in 87, and now Nick's in the 20 as he moves down to the inside. Down the back shortly as the top 3 move up to the outside to block the 87. Here's Bradley Reim and Matthew Burnett into turn number 3 on the inside, until the top 2 come to block them into turn number 3. Burnett was single looking to the inside there off of turn number 4, as now into turn number 1. Here's Nixon looking to the inside of Clifton for seconds. Crown trying to block his teammate into turn number 1 there, as Nixon still holds his ground the inside, until looking to the inside the 31 off turn number 2 this time by. Once again down the back shooter, we're side by side for the lead, with Crown once again trying to block Nixon into turn number 3, with this time Nixon forced into 31 to the middle, as we're still side by side for the lead. The 20 have the advantage off of turn number 4. Nixon will clear his teammate for the lead, and come to lead lap number 26, as Bradley Reim is still all over the back bump of the 20. Into turn number 1, both Nix and Brad are going to actually gain some ground over the rest of the field, but it's probably not going to be for long, as here comes the inside once again, with Matthew Hill and Brendan Carruthers leading the way. Down the back shoulder, we can see the drivers on the outside continue to lose ground, especially Andrew Williams and Clifton, as Clifton nearly got the wall that time by into turn number 3, but thankfully just barely avoids it. Coming back to the start-finish line is Nixon, who will once again lead, as here comes Bradley Reim to the inside the 20 into turn number 1. Side by side once again for the lead through turns 1 and 2, with Brendan Carruthers and Matthew Hill side by side for third right behind him. Down the back, sure looks like Bradley has the slight advantage over Nixon on the inside. Will we clear him into turn number 3 this time by, as he will. Bradley Reim to the lead here in Atlanta. And that's going to once again force the second place driver to the outside, as now Brendan Carruthers will be side by side with Nixon through turns 3 and 4. And coming back to the straight finish line to complete lap number 28 is Bradley Reim in the 6th car, who's your leader. Going into this race, Bradley was 4th in the point standings, 25 points back from the points leader of Herman, and is looking to get back that points lead he had during the start of the season. Meanwhile, down the back shorter, both Carruthers and McRoll are tucking right behind the 6 cars. We're on board the 18 car into turn number 3, as we're going to see if Carruthers will make a move in the 6 car or not, as we continue to do turns 3 and 4. And it looks like once again coming to the start finish line, the cloud over. Here comes Carruthers looking to the inside for the lead, coming to lap number 30. At the same time, here comes Bradley's teammates of Brendan, Beal, and Lipsy on the inside as we continue to turn number 1, with Carruthers having the advantage over the 6 car. And with Carruthers clearing Bradley that time by off turn number 2, is going to once again force the second place driver to the outside. The 18 to 16, and now the 9 on the inside into turn number 3, with Bradley with no help at all. Moving back into the picture is the 23 of Fellow Dodge of Andrew Williams alongside Matthew Burnett, who were also on the inside not too long ago, as now comes Williams making it 3 wide, and now Bradley Beal to the inside for the lead. And this once again just reinforces how you can get really good runs in these corners, especially in turn number 1, as both Beal and Williams will capitalize on that fact, with Beal back to the lead in the 16, and Williams up to 3rd in the 23. But into turn number 3, as for whatever reason, Williams moves up to the outside in front of the 9 car, will possibly open up the door for Brendan in the 13 to take over the 3rd position. Coming to complete lap number 31 is Brendan Beal in the 16, back to the lead here in Atlanta. Through turns 1 and 2, the top 4 all in a single file formation on the inside. The 19 of Rose side by side with Lipsy for the 5th spot. Down the back shortly, Rose will tuck in front of Lipsy to make the top 6 now on a single file formation into turn number 3. Into turns 3 and 4, see Crowder's getting a lot of ground on Beal. Could he possibly make a move on the 16 off of turn number 4 this time? But as he briefly looks to the inside, the 16 alongside Burnett. And to take a look towards the middle of the pack briefly, Brad and Reim continue to lose ground in the 6 car. Which is 3 wide of Nick Stant and Matthew Hill. Continuing a little bit through the back, this powwow random J back here. Alongside defending series champion Hoodlum, Calvin Baker, as well as some other big name drivers. Now as you cut back to the front, that time by, Burnett actually forced Carruthers to the outside alongside Caleb Rose, as Burnett and Williams now going to move up to second and third, with Carruthers and Rose losing ground on the outside. Here comes Williams now looking to the inside of Burnett into turn number 1, as we have the advantage over the 13 and forced within the outside. Off turn 2, Burnett's going to come up in front of Lipsy as Carruthers and Matteillo nearly make contact there. That was right in front of Matthew Hill and Owen Miles. Very scary for all those drivers, but a great save for both the 17 and 18 as continue to be side by side through turns 3 and 4. Here come the two Nathans, the Nathan Baird and Nathan Stapleton, as they come to lap number 35, as Stapleton's going to make a 3 wide with Burnett as he forces the 13 to the outside. And looking a little bit further ahead, there was a lap driver of Ryan Robertson to 42, of course, an involved only caution so far, as these guys are going to quickly catch that 42 for the next couple laps or so. And I would say definitely the top 3 of Beal, Williams, and Lipsy are ready to get around that lap car of Roberts. However, as for everybody else behind them, I don't want to say quite the same, as they're still side by side. It's Brendan Matteillo made contact off turn 4. That was once again very scary for the 17, as I think the 13 got some contact from Caleb Rose on the 19. As we hopefully get a replay here soon, as Baird is 3 wide with Matthew Hill. You can see the replay here. Yep, Rose definitely got into Matteillo. Matteillo nearly got into the grass there, but again, a great save for the 17 as he's 3 wide once again into turn number 3 with Baird losing tons of ground on the outside. Now here comes Ryan Roberts into turn number 4 as the leaders approach him with Williams looking to the inside of Beal coming to lap number 37. Into turn number 1, Williams will force Beal to the outside as he's right behind the 42. But despite that, the 23 will have the advantage over the 16 off of turn number 2. Will he clear both the 16 and 42 this time by down the back straightaway? As looks like into turn number 3, the answer will be yes. With Andrew Williams back to the lead here in Atlanta, with Beal now being forced street wide, as here comes his teammate Lipsy on the inside. I don't even know if that was a good move for his teammate to do that, as Beal nearly got forced to the outside. But Beal still currently has second place over the 9 car as he comes to lap number 38. Here comes Stapleton and Miles on the inside as they get around the 42 and join the rest of the Dodges. And it looks like off for turn number 2 this time by Lipsy will finally clear Beal for second, as Stapleton is now side by side the 16 with the 23 of Williams still out front. Into turn 3 and 4 this time by, looks like Stapleton will get around the 16 of Beal as the 97 moves up to third now. Coming to lap number 39 this time by, we've got plenty of big name drivers coming up through the field, including Dan Matteillo and Hoodlum as up to 5th and 6th respectively. Meanwhile, Brendan Beal will tuck into 4th in front of Owen Miles in the 37. As a little bit further back, Caleb Rose is side by side of Trey Smith for the 7th position. But going back to Miles, definitely a good showing for him so far in the 37, as he came this race all the way back in 27th after DNFing on the last race at Myrtle Beach. Meanwhile, for Dan Matteillo, who of course won Myrtle Beach, moved up 11 positions and points up to 13th, who's back right inside this top 15. And if he continues to run how he is right now, we could possibly get back inside the top 10 in points. Meanwhile, also defending series champion Hoodlum, he is up to 9th in points, up 2 spots after the last race at Myrtle Beach, despite being involved in a massive pileup in that race. Behind him in 8th place, how about Alex Cassidy within the 12, as he came this race all the way back in the 36th position in points, with only 2 top 10s to his name so far this summer. Meanwhile, fellow Pontiac and affiliate teammate Keisha Anderson's up to 9th in the 24, who came this race 14th in the point standings after pretty much stuck throughout the mid-teens range in the point standings throughout this entire summer. Back up front once again, we got another battle for second. This time Nathan Stapleton up to second in 97, with Brendan Beal side by side of Lipsy for third. In addition to Lipsy getting forced up outside, Owen Miles also did as well, as now here comes Dan Matteillo side by side of the 37. Continuing through the rest of the field, this powwow in the 7th back inside the top 10, currently in 10th, with Noah Clifton in the 76 up to 11th. 12th place is Joe T in the 8 car, who came this race 7th in the point standings. And seemingly every time Joe T has a good race this summer, he has a bad race immediately following, but fortunately still enough to keep him inside the top 10 in points, only 30 back from the points leader of Herman. Matthew Hill, of course, won a last mile and a half race at Chicagoland, is currently 13th in the 90 car, as he came this race 6th in the point standings. 14th is Caleb Rose in the 19, who's another driver trying to get back into the top 10 in points as he came into this race 11th in the standings. 2020 Summer Series champion Kellen Baker coming off a bad race at Myrtle Beach as he fell down all the way to 23rd in the standings. 16th is Random J in the 53, who's involved in a lone caution so far here tonight, but for the most part has recovered as here he comes, as well as other drivers down pit road. It looks like Johnny Hernandez in the 46 was the first driver out of anyone to come down pit road. But in the second group here, Andrew Williams, Owen Miles, Caleb Rose, Baker, Random, Burnett, among others, all coming down pit road this time by. Also in that first group as well was Jordan Stout in the 11 car, alongside Jason Albert in the 80 car, as they're finishing up their pit stops here. And of course, these are our second pit stops of the night, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have at least one more set here tonight. Looks like the order with these past couple laps was Nathan Stapleton in 97, who stays out once more. As here comes the third group of cars, easily the biggest group we've had so far come down pit road, with Lipsy, Hoodwin, Brendan, Beal, Cass Stevens, this powwow, and many, many others coming down pit road this time by. And you can see just ahead of them, the second group of drivers wrapping up their pit stops, with the first group of Stout, Albert, and Hernandez coming out right in front of Stapleton. But of course the question is, when will this top three come down pit road? It looks like in the turn number 4, the time is now, as Stapleton, Matteillo, Richardson, and Nixant all come down pit road this time by. And you can see this third group right in front of them, all wrapping up their pit stops here. The only driver who has yet to come down pit road being Kyle Salmon in the 38 car. You see Salmon is still on track in the 38 as these third group of drivers are ready to come back on track with Lipsy and Hoodwin leading the way. Fourth group of drivers still doing the stops there as the rest of this third group are in the turn number 1 on this apron. So far looks like everyone's doing a good job emerging back onto the track. And as Salmon finally comes down pit road this time by, the leader transfer back over to Andrew Williams in the 23, followed by Owen Miles in the 37, as those two have a large gap over the rest of the field, with Lipsy in 3rd, Hoodwin in 4th, and Caleb Rose in 5th. As you can see, this final group of drivers wrapping up the pit stops here as they come back on track and onto the apron. As you can see in the turn number 1 this time by, the rest of the top 5 getting around these drivers that are now just coming out of pit road. You know, back to the lead, Owen Miles is right behind the back bumper of Williams in the turn number 3 as he looks to the side of Williams in the 3 that time by, with Williams coming up quickly block. But like I said, those top 2 have a significant gap over the rest of this running order, with Lipsy being the closest to them in 3rd. You know, most of this top 6 or so is remain about the same, with Hoodwin still in 4th, Rose behind him in 5th, Random J in 6th, now RC Gamer in the 1 car up to 7th. Battle for the lead now. Here's Miles side by side of Williams off turn number 2, now down the back straightaway. And this could possibly be the thing that these drivers behind them need to catch back up, as Miles will have the advantage over the 23 and will quit the 23 off for turn number 4 this time by, as Owen Miles will come to lead lap number 47. And you can see the intervals on the scoreboard just now adjusting. Lipsy nearly 3 seconds back from this top 2, as you got some big name drivers in front of the leaders in danger of going a lap down. Matthew Hill in the 90, Aiden Robertson in the 54, Brad Reim in the 6, and Jordan Flores in the 61, as those 4 drivers did not cycle good out of pit road. Meanwhile, into turn number 3, here's RC Gamer making it 3 wide from 5th, forcing Hoodwin to the middle and Rose to the outside, until all 3 of them move back down to the inside into turn number 4 this time by. The 88 and 1 are 5th and 6th respectively, with Random J 7th in the 53. Meanwhile, Brendan Beal is now up to 8th in the 16 as you just got around Nathan Stapleton for that spot. As you saw briefly there, the lap car Richard Herman is back down pit road to do his green flag pit stop. As into turn number 1 this time by, Stapleton's going to lose even more spots to the Pontiacs of Richardson and Cass Stevens, causing Stapleton to fall below the top 10, now down to 11th. Meanwhile, Dan Matteillo behind him is in 12th, while Kellen Baker in the 21 is in 13th. 14th is Noah Clifton in the 76, right in front of his affiliate teammate of Ryan Wilson in the 48 car. 16th is actually the only Ford in his entire top 20 and one of the very few Fords in general here in the Summer Series, and it's the 99 Dan McMarola, who came in this race 31st in the point standings. But into turn number 1 now, here's McMarola looking to the inside of Wilson as he forces the 48 car to the outside. Meanwhile, behind those two of the Albert drivers of Crown and Nixant, as into turn number 3, Nixant's going to force 31 way up behind the racetrack, as Crown nearly got in the wall that time by, as here comes the other group of drivers, led by Matthew Burnett and this powwow into turn number 4 this time by. Johnny Hernandez in 21st in the 46, with David Johnson right behind him in 22nd. We saw briefly there Nixant going 3 wide with Clifton and McMarola before quickly sorting it out into turn number 1, as McMarola now is going to be side by side with Clifton into turn number 2. Going back to the 46 and 2 car, ironically, they're both in a pretty similar spot in points, as Johnny came in this race 16th in points, while Johnson came in this race 17th. 23rd is a fellow Pontiac of Jordan's down the 11 car, who's currently 19th in the point standings after winning our first race at Arbor Digital back in May. 24th is Kyle Salmon in the 38 car, who of course was the last driver to come down pit road during our cycles, and so far has not worked out for that team at all, just well below the top 20. And the same can also be said for all these drivers behind them: Trey Smith, Joe T, Jason Albert, Brady Brothers, as well as Xavier in the 33. And if you can tell off the damage, Albert was involved during a lone caution of this race so far, as there's no longer any back bumper on that car. Yeah, another bad night for Nathan Baird in 87, who's currently 30th. Here's Gamer Creek getting on the lap car of Rat Roberts, with the former running in 31st, as he came in this race 32nd in the point standings. Speaking of 32nd, that's where Ross McRoll is running right now, as he's currently 32nd in the 10 car. As a little bit further back, Robertson, Reim, and Forbes are still back here, with Matthew Hill way behind them as well as the last car on the lead lap as of right now. And besides the 54 of Robertson, those drivers I just mentioned came this race all into the top 6 in points, and with Williams and Lipsy being 2nd and 3rd respectively as of right now, they could definitely spell trouble for some of your championship favorites as you continue to the rest of the Summer Series season. Oh no, we're hearing issues for Kyle Salmon, the 38 car, going into turn number 1 this time by, as that car slowed down significantly going into the corner. So Xavier turns Brady Crothers in front of Nathan Barrett into turn number 2. And this will bring the caution out for the second time here tonight, as there's a lot of damage today. So Brandon Reed hits Barrett there in the last second. I believe Aiden Robertson, the 54, also got damage as well. As you can see, the heavy damage to both Barrett and Reim. Those cars are absolutely killed. I mean, for both of them, those were really hard hits they took. You can see the damage to Brado's car as well in the 18, as Salmon will come to complete stop down the back straightaway below that yellow line. It looks like the leader at that time by was Owen Miles in the 37, despite Williams being out front in the 37 as of right now, with Lipsy still in 3rd, RC Gamer in 4th, and Caleb Rose running off the rest of the top 5. As it looks like pretty much everyone's going to come down pit road once again, as this caution for sure has definitely changed the course for the rest of the night's race. See what everyone does here. Owen Miles and Lipsy into the pit stalls here, with Miles doing right sides as well as Lipsy so far. Andrew Rome's also in RC Gamer. It looks like the call, at least for Williams here, is going to be 2 tires and gas, as is all but certain this is going to be the last time these drivers will come down pit road tonight. And there go Williams done. Most of these leaders in general are pretty much done, as you still got a handful of drivers coming into the pit stalls just now trying to get their stops done. And as for the race off pit road, it's going to be Dan Matteillo and Hoodwim the first 2 off, followed by Owen Miles, Andrew Williams, and Nixon running off the rest of your top 5. But anyways, let's take a look at the instant replay to see what cars are second and, quite frankly, scary caution of the night. So I'll just start off turn number 4. Watch Kyle Salmon as he's coming towards the quadruple this time by. So far, nothing out of the ordinary. But after he passes the start-finish line, I would say, he starts to significantly slow down, comes in front of both Joe T and Trey Smith, with Brittany Crothers and Xavier trying to avoid, with the 33 turning to 18, with Nathan Baird having nowhere to go there in 87. And that was definitely a hard hit for Baird. Watch Brad Reim as well. Bam! Just a hard hit for both 87 and 6, with Aiden Robertson also getting damage for that as well. Score on board with Nathan Baird. So he sees the spin happening right in front of him, has nowhere to go. Just a hard hit for Baird. And here's the other hard hit from Brad Reim. Bam! Another just violent impact there for the 87. Score on board with Xavier here. So Crothers slows down all of a sudden right in front of him. He tries to go below the apron, but turns Crothers instead, which ended up causing this massive wreck to begin with. But anyways, under caution once again here in Atlanta, as we'll be right back to you guys after this. Welcome back to the Golf Summer Series here in Atlanta. We're about to go back green after a very scary wreck in turn number 2, involving 87 Nathan Barrett, Brittany Crothers in the 18, Brad Reim in the 6, as well as the 33 of Xavier. Unfortunately for the 87, 18, and 6 car, they're out of the race and done for the night. It's the 33 as well as the 54 also got damaged during that. We'll continue the rest of the race. Currently in top 3 is Dan Matteillo in the 17, trying to get a second straight Summer Series win. Defending Series champion Hoodwim and the 37 of Owen Miles, both trying to get the first wins of the season. Here we go, pace car down pit road as we're back under green here in Atlanta. And it's going to be a great restart for Hoodwim on the outside, as into turn number 1 who moved out to the inside to block the 17 and take the lead. Already the Railfan drivers of Caleb Rose and Lips here are making it 3 wide as they lose a lot of ground on the outside lane as they come off turn number 2. Down the back straight, Hold'em also moves up to the outside in front of the 23 with Matteillo down the middle into turn number 3 as both the 1788 car move down to the inside as Owen Miles gets stuck in the middle 3 wide of Keisha Hirsch on the inside. Off of turn number 4, both the 88 and 17 move back to the outside in front of the 37 as the defending series champion will lead lap number 59. Here comes Richardson once again, side by side with Matteillo for second, as his teammate Random J right behind him again 3 wide, with this powwow getting forced to the middle, with Random now side by side to 17, as now Keyshawn's going to be side by side for the lead into turn number 3. Owen Miles and Andrew Williams once again on the outside into turn number 3, as the Atlanta cars, Keyshawn and Random, are going to put this hometown crowd on their feet as we come to lap number 61, with Keyshawn leading the way into 24. Into turn number 1, Matteillo side by side of Hold'em once again as the 17 cleared the 88 car for third as now McRolla is going to be side by side with the 88 down the back straight away. Into turn number 3, Random is right behind the back bumper of Richardson, which kind of begs the question if Random is going to stay right behind the 24 to protect him from the fast approaching car of Matteillo, or will Random go for the lead himself? Looks like so far Random's doing the former options, now Matteillo looks to the inside the 53, coming to lap number 62. The 2 Summer Series veterans were side by side for second, with McRoll laying back in third as we figure out a little bit further back with RC Gamer in the 1 car on the outside there. Down the back straight, RC's going to get shuffled out as Hernandez and McRoll now going to be side by side for fourth, with Random and Matteillo also side by side for second into turn number 3. Matteillo had the slight advantage into the corners that time by, but off of 4, Random's going to hold his ground on the outside for now as it tucks him right behind his teammate and come to lap number 63 into another edition of Golf Summer Series Crank It Up. number 71 of 82 here in Atlanta, with Matteillo in our new leader, followed by Brendan Beal and Noah Clifton, with Jordan Stout being 3 wide there into turn number 3, until the lap car of Richard Herman tucks in right behind Ryan Wilson. Off before Wilson will move up to 4th, as Stout will move down to 5th, with Williams now side by side of Gaming Creek into 28, with RC Gamer now making it 3 wide into turn number 1. And cutting back to the leader of Matteillo, if you remember just before a second caution, Hill was the last driver on the lead lap, very nearly went a lap down, as he had a terrible pit cycle. But now that 90 has a chance to not only get his second win of the Summer Series season and his career, but also to sweep the mile and a half, as he of course won Chicagoland back in June. And coming to 10 laps to go, we still got tons of side-by-side behind these drivers. This time, Trey Smith going 3 wide into turn number 1, as well as RC in the 1 and 4s in the 61, as here comes Brendan Beal getting around the 90 car, off for turn number 2, as the 16 car take back the lead here in Atlanta. Noah Clifton in 76 will also get around the 90 car into turn number 3, as Matteillo continues to drop like a rock on the outside. Off for turn number 4, coming to lap number 74, only 9 laps to go here in Atlanta, with Ryan Wilson once again 3 wide into turn number 1. This will be for the 3rd position, as Stout is right behind the 48 car, and the 95 of Richard Herman in the lap car, literally right in the middle of all of this. Down the back straightaway, Wilson will move up to 3rd, as both him and Stout try to ground Richard Herman into turn number 3 this time by, as the top 2 will continue to pull away. And speaking of which, Beal and Clifton will come back to the start-finish line to come to 8 laps to go this time by. On board the back bumper with Beal into turn number 1, as Clifton that time by was 8/100ths of a second behind the 16, as Beal got a great run into turn number 2 that time by, as he will pull away a little bit from the 76. And I mentioned that probably the best place to gain a run on someone is going into these corners, especially turn number 1. And I would imagine Clifton's laying back as of right now to try to get that good run off Beal as it comes to 7 laps to go this time by. And the turn number 1, Clifton briefly looking to the inside of Beal, but stays tucked in right behind off turn number 2. Down the back shoulder, you can see the rest of this running order all in a single file formation, which is the best possible way to gain any ground on these leaders as opposed to being side by side all the time. And speaking of the lead, time is running out for anyone to make a move on the 16 as it comes to 5 laps to go this time by. Into turn number 1, here's Wilson side by side for 2nd with Noah Clifton, as well as Richard Herman being side by side inexplicably with Jordan Forbes. It looks like off turn number 2 that time by, now down the back straightaway. Clifton's going to come to block the 48 car as he continues to be single file into turn number 3. You know, Jordan Forbes did get shuffled up by Richard Herman to the outside as the 61 car is going to possibly lose the top 7 here as he's side by side with the 28 car coming to 4 laps to go. We also saw Carol Bros briefly side by side of Andrew Williams before the 19 comes down referring to 23 into turn number 1. And going back to the subject of timing, just like how it is in super speedways, it is absolutely everything here. We saw it last year with Nelson Reeves and Nick Sant, as you don't want to time your move too early to allow someone else to get around you during an extra time. But you also don't want to time your move too late. You want somewhere sort of right in the middle, and that's exactly what Clifton and Wilson are trying to do here as you come to 3 laps to go this time by. There's Richard Herman once again being side by side for a lead lap driver, this being Jordan Stout in the 11 car to turns 1 and 2, as the top 3 continue to pull away off of turn number 2 and now down the back straightaway. There you saw in the turn number 3 that time by Herman moving in front of the 11 car, as both Clifton and Wilson continue to remain side by side behind Beal as you come to 2 laps to go this time by. And I imagine if you're Wilson or Clifton, you have to make a move now. So here comes Wilson side by side of Clifton into turn number 1. And even though it's a decent time to make a move, I don't really agree how Wilson's doing it. As I really feel like him and Clifton should have worked together instead of Wilson passing Clifton. But into turn number 3, Wilson will clear Clifton for a second, as Beal will extend his gap just a little bit further as it go through turns 3 and 4 for the second to last time. And here we go, this time by white flags in the air, 1 lap to go here in Atlanta. Will Wilson catch up to the 16 in time? In the turn number 1, everyone on this main group stays on the inside, except for Clifton, who got shoveled out by Richard Herman as he come off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway for the final time. Wilson trying just about everything he can to catch up to the 16 as you go into turns 3 and 4 for the final time, as unfortunately it's not going to be enough for the 48. And coming off turn number 4, the checkered flag is out for Brendan Beal as he wins here in Atlanta. Congratulations to Brendan Beal and Atlanta Motor Motorsports. They are your winners for tonight here in Atlanta. This is, of course, Atlanta second straight win here in the Summer Series after winning the last race at Myrtle Beach with Aiden Matteillo, as well as Beal's first win since last year's Southern 500, so it's never been a while since he's been in victory lane. But anyways, let's take a look at the finishing results and point standings after the night's race. So here we go. Brendan Beal finishes first in the 16 after winning a grand total of 21 laps. Also got maximum bonus points because of that. So a great points night for the 16 team that was desperate for just about anything at this point as he came in this race below the top 30 in points. Finishing second is Ryan Wilson, the 48 car. Very solid run for him. And the same coach said for Jonas Down, the 11 car, as he finishes third. Finishing fourth is Gaming Creek in the 28 car. Definitely seems to be a mile and a half R's cup of tea, as he also did well at Chicagoland. While David Johnson rounds off the top 5, finishing 5th. Noah Clifton, the 76, falls down to 6th in the 76, while Carol Rose finishes 7th in the 19. Andrew Williams will finish 8th in the 23 despite winning 13 laps, but regardless, still a great points day for that 23, as several other point leaders of Richard Herman, among others, did not have a good points day at all here tonight. Good rebound for Jordan Forrest in the 61, as he'll finish 9th, and running off the rest of the top 10 is Trey Smith in the 22. And now for the point standings after race number 13, as we got a brand new points leader of Andrew Williams in the 23 with 401 points to his name so far this year. Whereas Jordan Forrest will move back up to second, bottom by 20. Richard Herman falls down to third, now behind by 23, while Lipsy moves up to fourth, bottom by 28. Matthew Hill in the 90 car moves up another spot up to fifth, bottom by 29, while Matthew Burnett moves up to 6 in points, bottom by 39. So not only a significant gap between the leader and second place, third place, etc., but also the top 5 and the rest is top 10. So definitely pretty interesting to see what's going to happen during the rest of the Summer Series season, if they're going to catch up or not. Meanwhile, Caleb Rose is back inside the top 10 in points in 7th, bottom by 42 points, while Nick Sant moves up to 8th in the 20 car, bottom by 44. He's actually tied with defending series champion Huddle for that spot, but due to Nick Sant's run at Montreal, he'll have the advantage over the 88 car. And rounding off the rest of the top 10 is Shoti in the 8 car, who falls down 3 positions and is a full race behind the points leader, bottom by 48 points. So next up, race number 14 is our second to last crown jewel of the season at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the running of the Sharpie Night Race, which will be on this channel in the coming days. But as always, y'all, thank you guys for watching this race. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.